Okay, so we all know what today is, yes? Yes. And I promise this is actually moderately relevant to what we're talking about today. Right, does anybody know where most modern Halloween traditions come from? What country? Anyone have any idea?
Salem?
Salem's not a country.
Yeah.
Town in Massachusetts, yes, Savannah. Actually, not so much Germany. In fact, in most of continental Europe, Halloween is still sort of this really kind of weird thing that they don't really get. The French, for example, are aghast at the fact that we take this great big delicious orange vegetable and instead of cooking it and eating it, we carve its insides out and put faces on it. It's like, why do you do that? No, such a waste.
You know, you can't actually eat the bigger pumpkins. It has to be small.
Well, it makes the French angry nonetheless.
It mostly started here, didn't it?
Yeah, a lot of contemporary Halloween, trick-or-treating, for example, started largely here. But the holiday itself actually comes from Ireland. And it originates in a Celtic pagan New Year's festival called Samhain.
Like Samhain.
That's how you spell it, yeah, but you pronounce it Samhain. Because Irish pronunciation is very, very strange. So, Samhain was actually the Celtic New Year. Right, it was one of those days, like it wasn't quite part of the old calendar year, it wasn't quite part of the new calendar year, it was kind of in between. And what do we call those sorts of things that are not quite one thing, not quite the other? Anybody remember? Liminal, yes. It's a liminal date in the Celtic calendar. And when we approach liminal spaces or liminal times, right, things get weird. Veils between worlds get thinner. And so, on Samhain, it was believed that the veil between the land of the world of the living and the world of the dead got thin. And the dead tried to... Pardon?
I was just
Oh, okay. The dead would sort of try to find their way home. So, you lit bonfires to confuse them, right? To attract them like moths to that bonfire, so they didn't come, so your dead grandpa didn't come back to your house. And in order to mislead them, they would carve faces. They would carve out turnips and carve faces into the turnip, make little sort of makeshift lanterns out of turnips, because pumpkins are a North American crop, to lead the souls of the dead away from their homes and to those wacky bonfires. Now, trick-or-treating started mostly in the United States as an effort on the part of property owners to get young hoodlums to stop smashing their windows. Right? That's trick or treat, right? But, so, this is a holiday that was traditionally, in its earliest form, intended to celebrate the dead, by largely getting them to leave you alone. Now, the name itself, Halloween, do we know where this comes from? Yeah, All Hallows Even. Tomorrow, in the Catholic liturgical calendar, is All Saints' Day, or All Hallows. So the day before is All Hallows Even. Condense that into Halloween, right? So the name itself comes out of the Catholic liturgical calendar. So today is a day on which we dress up like spooks and goblins to remember the dead. All those dead spooks and goblins. And we're reading a poem about the fate of the unhallowed dead. Right? Those who are not and will never be part of the communion of saints in heaven. Yeah, go ahead, Secret.
Okay, when you say that they will not be the saints
Mm-hmm.
of heaven,
Yeah.
but in the text they do mention the last judgment and how they get to go back.
Yeah. Here's what's going to happen at the last judgment, according to Dante's conception of how the afterlife and divine justice works, right? And remember, while Dante is basing this on medieval Catholic theology, some of it is also idiosyncratic. Some of it is kind of unique to him. But here's how Dante's vision of the Last Judgment works, right? So everyone will be given back their original bodies. And those who were already among the community of saints, they will be lifted up bodily into heaven. Those who were among the damned will be cast down with their bodies into hell. Again, right now, we've noticed, what is it that the dead often seem to note about Dante? What does he do that they don't?
Move.
Yeah, he affects the world around him, right? He moves objects. Boats get a little heavier when he steps into them. He leaves footprints. Why don't any of the damned leave footprints or affect objects?